Alrighty, well, that was Thursday Night Football. So we talked about the NBA Finals on tonight, talked about Thursday Night Football, so let's get into our picks. We looked at the lines yesterday, guessed the lines, reacted to the lines yesterday on the show. So now that we've digested these lines, I've slept on the lines. This is what I've come up with for the best bets of the week. So we like to split them up into two categories, three picks in each category. Our first category is our lock section. These will all happen. These will 100% hit, so go ahead and bet your house, bet your kid's future, bet the car, bet both your cars, your wife cars. Go pawn those real quick. Get some quick cash for those and lay it all on this 3-teamer locks. So here it is. We'll start it up right here. Our first lock of the week is going to be Atlanta -1.5. I know what you guys are thinking. They're 0-4. They're blowing leads. Blah, 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 blah. I'm still in love with this Atlanta's offense. Sue me. I'm not taking last week into account. That was the Packers game. I mean, we knew. Even if Atlanta was good, that Packers team is just way better than whatever Atlanta thought they could be. So they put up 16 points. Didn't look the best, but I mean, this is primetime football, and you're going into Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, who's proving himself for an MVP case. So Atlanta getting a little bit of a break here. Probably the easiest game they have played all season. They're at home. Carolina, they really have no great receiving weapons. They don't have Christian McCaffrey still. The Falcons' defense isn't good, but I think, with the limitations of this Panthers offense, Teddy Bridgewater, he's looking all right in some games. He's not doing great, but he is a 2-2 quarterback, and his play is about 2-2. Matt Rule, let's see, going on the road. Not sure how to feel about Matt Rule just quite yet. I never loved the hire because he wasn't good in bowl games. So, I mean, if you're not good in the big game, what are we doing? You're going to lead me to a 10-6 season with the first-round exits? We saw that in Marvin Lewis for fucking 15 years with the Bengals. We don't need to see it anymore. So if you're not winning the big games, why are you here? Dan Quinn, I could say the same thing about you. He should be on the hot seat. This is really a must-win game for Dan Quinn at home against the Panthers. You should win the game because of this. You have a better offense. Your defense isn't great, but I mean, you should be able to outscore the Panthers, which you have offensively. Even if Julio Jones doesn't play, they have a ton of other weapons, so I'm not worried about that. Matt Ryan is a serviceable quarterback. I would put him, in that above average category. But so they've got, this Falcons team isn't going to go 0-16, folks. At least I don't think. I hope not, right? I don't want to see any teams go 0-16. So they haven't won a game yet. The easiest opponent here, they're at home. Dan Quinn's job is on the line. I'm only giving up 1.5 points. I'll take that. I'm ready to rock with that. I'm going down with the ship here with Atlanta. When Dan Quinn gets fired, then I'll stop betting them. But I love this high-powered Falcons offense. I think they get back on track. 1 o'clock start time. No pressure against Carolina. Dan Quinn, he's only coaching for his job. That's the only pressure in this game. I like Atlanta -1.5 here. Alrighty, our second pick in our locks section is going to be the Cleveland Browns +1. I'm not ready to buy this Colts defense yet. I think the Colts defense is good, but when we're comparing these two teams, the defenses are pretty much comparable. Very good defenses with the Colts and the Browns. And then this Browns offense is just loaded with talent, where the Colts offense is really not. They have T.Y. Hilton. Okay, Marlon Mack got out for the year, I believe. So no running game for the Colts. They're not trusting. Both these clubs are not trusting their quarterbacks to go and win games. They're not trusting Phillip Rivers to throw the ball 45 times. They're not trusting Baker Mayfield to throw the ball 45 times. So they're getting it done with their other skilled players, and the Browns have a lot more skilled players than the Colts do. Plus, the Colts have been coming off of easy games. They had the Vikings, they had the Jets, and they had the Bears last week. I thought the Bears were the locks. I had the Bears +3. They were getting points, and they still lost. But I think the Browns are better than the Bears, better than the Bears. Baker Mayfield is good. He's solid. He's serviceable when you're not asking him to do too much. And what did the Browns do last game? They didn't ask Baker Mayfield to do too much. They got some trick plays, set up short fields. Jarvis Landry threw a touchdown pass. Odell Beckham was all over the field, rushing the ball, receiving the ball, doing it all. And their defense forced 2 turnovers, big time. So love the Browns defense. Browns are at home, coming off of a huge win against Dallas in Dallas. So Kevin Stefanski, he's got this Browns team figured out. He knows what to do. He knows how to win games with this talented offensive roster. Love the Browns here at home. And they're getting a point. Absolutely. Browns win this one. Not ready to buy Phillip Rivers. Alrighty, in our last one, I might get a little heat from this. But after sleeping on this one, I'm going to go Washington plus 7.5. I actually kind of like this one. Rams weren't able to do anything last week at home against the Giants defense, and now they have to go to Washington, who's starting a new quarterback, a backup quarterback, Kyle Allen. You know how I feel about backup quarterbacks. Their first game is going to be very, very solid. They may not win the game, but they will keep you in the game. They will keep the game close. We've seen it. Steelers with Drew Lock going down, and they bring up Jeff Driscoll. That was a close game. We've seen who else have we seen this season do good as a backup? Gardner Minshew was still kind of riding that momentum. Game 1, they end up winning that game. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he has a good game on primetime television. I mean, yes, he's a starter, but, he's a career backup. So we get Kyle Allen here. He's not the best quarterback, but he had his spots there. He made some headlines. He made some highlights last year with Carolina. So he's getting the nod up this week, kind of later in the week where the Rams really aren't, they've been focusing on Dwayne Haskins. They have no tape. The Rams have no tape on Kyle Allen with Washington's offense. So if they study at all for Kyle Allen, it's going to be what did he do against Carolina? What is he good at? But now he doesn't know what Washington knows he's good at. What did the coaches like about Kyle Allen? What is Kyle Allen good at throwing? What is Washington going to do to help Kyle Allen kind of ease his way into the game? They're going to give Kyle Allen plays that they know he's good at doing. The Rams don't know what he's good at doing with this Washington's offense because they have no film on him. So Washington at home, they're still in it for the division. That's kind of why Ron Rivera benched Dwayne Haskins, because he feels that Kyle Allen gives them a better shot of winning now. And with the NFC East being so bad, Washington has a chance to kind of be number one after this week. Rams, not very impressive last week at home. Now they're on the road. Yes, their competition isn't great, but Washington might be able to take advantage of this magic of Kyle Allen backing them up in this game. I like Washington here. I mean, they've kind of been solid, even though Dwayne Haskins been turning the ball over, keeping games close. Yes, they lost by 14 last week. I get it, but that's the Ravens. The Rams aren't as good as the Ravens, I think. And they haven't. Last week was kind of a stinker, only putting up 17 against a kind of lousy Giants defense, letting Daniel Jones. We did it. We saw it on Wednesday when we broke down the film study. They gave Daniel Jones an opportunity in the fourth quarter to go win the game. It's Daniel Jones. He's not good. I think Kyle Allen is better than Daniel Jones. A little more, not even more experienced. They kind of got the about the same plays. But I do like it here. You're giving me 7.5. A lot of high spreads this week, so I think I like this one with the points. Give me Washington plus 7.5 at home. I'm going to rock with it. So this is going to be our locks for the week. Falcons minus 1.5, Browns plus 1, and Washington plus 7.5. All right. These are locks. You can bet this. This is guaranteed. This is free money. Plus 597. You put 500 on this. You're walking away with $3,400, y'all. That's nice. Gosh darn, that's nice. All right. Let's go to our second category, our 99% guarantees. We love all these picks, but there is maybe one little hiccup that is kind of giving me some feeling that I don't want to bet too much on this. But these should happen. I think they will happen, but there is a little in there that giving me a little 1% doubt. So here it is. We'll start it off here. Y'all know I'm big on the Steelers, and now they got the Eagles here. I got to go Steelers minus 7 here. Eagles. The only reason why they won last week against the 49ers, well, one, because it was the B squad of the 49ers. Everybody's injured there. And they didn't turn the ball over 5 times. Eagles turned the ball over once, which is not what we expect from Carson Wentz. We expect him to throw 2 interceptions. So he only intercepted the ball once. And the 49ers turned it over like 5 times. Nick Mullins threw interceptions and fumbles, and then they bring in the backup of the backup, and he throws 2 interceptions. So the 49ers just cannot win. Oh, and the Eagles only won by 5 points. They're not good, folks. This Eagles team is truly not good. Plus, they're going with the high power. I mean, I call it the best defense in the league, the Steelers defense. Plus, Ben Roethlisberger is still great. He's doing great. He's not turning the ball over. He's actually scoring touchdowns, not settling for field goals. Love the offense. Love the Steelers defense. The only thing that is giving me a little qualms here, and you might be asking yourself, why don't you have this, over Washington in your lock section? Well, it's because the Steelers had the bye last week, and they weren't expecting it. They were expecting to play the Titans. They were told, hey, you're playing the Titans kind of up until, when was it? Friday, Saturday? Then they kind of got delayed, and now you're on the bye. So you kind of expect your bye to, I think it was like late for the Steelers. I think it was like week 7 kind of. So, I mean, you're planning your kind of season around your schedule, your tentative schedule as a head coach. You're kind of planning that, around your bye week, which was, later in the season, week 7, we'll call it. So they're all kind of expecting, waiting for it, planning, their rest of the weeks up until around that bye week. They post, this team has the bye week, posted. They all are looking forward to their bye week. So Steelers bye week gets moved up a little bit. It could throw them off. They haven't played football, in a week, where the Eagles have had 4 straight weeks of football. Steelers had 3 weeks and then a little iffy there, and now they're back on it. So if they could look a little sluggish out of, you would think extra rest they would look good, but because the bye week was kind of moved all of a sudden, now you lose your actual bye week. All that could definitely mess with the team. I love the Steelers here. I think they obviously win, but the 7, not quite comfortable with the full 7 points because the bye week I think may hurt them. Actually, I think the bye week is actually hurting them. The moved up bye week is hurting them more than I think a lot of people would think it benefits them. So that's the 1% I feel a little iffy on the Steelers bye week getting moved up. But other than that, they're obviously the better team, better defense, better offense. I mean, we're talking about number 4 in our power rankings, y'all. I love the Steelers team. Alrighty. Moving on. The second pick in our 99% guarantee is going to be the Texans minus 5.5. Honestly, I think they're going to have so much fun. I think they're going to be free at practice. They're going to be free in the game. We know Jacksonville are frauds. They've lost their last 3. They won week 1, but who cares? It's week 1. A lot of things change. So Texans here, they're going to get their first win, I think, this week. Going to play loose, going to feel comfortable, going to play with really no regrets. They're 0-4. They have no head coach. Let the players run this organization now because the season's already over. Season's lost. Go and try and salvage whatever you can. Maybe try to squeak in as that extra-headed wild card this year. So we'll see. They're 0-4. Texans here, though, they're at home, no coach. I think they're going to play free. I love this Texans offense. They have wide receiver weapons. They have running back weapons. Deshaun Watson is their quarterback. They have J.J. Watt on the defensive end of the ball. They should be fine. Gardner Minshew is still not good. Texans at home, no coach. I think they play free and loose. We'll go Texans here, minus 5.5. And then our last pick to round out our category of 99% guarantee is going to be Seattle minus 7. Oh boy, there's so much to talk about this game. Russell Wilson making an MVP case. Primetime game in Seattle, helping out Seattle a ton there. Their offense is good. DK Metcalf, in my opinion, is top 2 wide receiver in the league. Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Kirk Cousins can't play on primetime television. This is primetime television, 8:20 kickoff Sunday night football on the road. You think Kirk Cousins is going to be good? He hasn't been good all season. He's going to be extra not good this game. Seattle at home, going to take advantage of it. Vikings defense is really non-existent. They're trash. They lost all their good players. They don't have anybody. Yes, they have Ngakoue. Yes, they got him, but he hasn't been making an impact. Vikings have won 1 game, and it just came last week. Seahawks, they're looking good. They're looking fiery. Coming off of a win last week, they're undefeated. They're at home. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson even. I love the Seattle team. Yes, they're giving up a lot with the 7, but Vikings defense is non-existent, and Kirk Cousins can't play on primetime television or a must-win game or really any game at all without having 2 all-star receivers. We see him really missing Stephon Diggs a lot. That's why they only have 1 win, and that's why they only put up 3 points against the Colts, and that's why they haven't been competitive in really any game. So love the Seahawks here. Love them, love them, love them. The 1% would be, it's a high spread. It's 7. It's 7, y'all. It's 7. So that's why it's my 99% guarantee. A lot of high spreads this week. Look at this. 11.5, 12, 7, 7.5, 9, 9, 7, 7.5. I mean, these are big spreads this week, folks. So bear with us. A lot of high spreads, a lot of risk with both teams. I mean, if we're taking the 11.5, if we're minusing 11.5, it's both. It's stressful for both teams. It's a lot to kind of cover. It's a lot to kind of hold on to against good teams. I mean, Bengals are getting 12 against Baltimore. Raiders are getting 11 against the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs and the Ravens are better than these competitions, but the 11, it's a lot to win by in the league where the average game is decided by one possession. So these are the picks. To recap, the locks: Atlanta -1.5, Browns +1, and Washington +7.5. And then in our 99% guarantee category, Steelers -7, Texans -5.5, and Seahawks -7. All right.